everybody, and today I'll be talking about the history of economics. Chapter 19, Creative Distraction. Businessman versus economist. Economists seem knowledgeable on TV on creating wealth and making good decisions. But an ironic and alarming fact is that they fail and they make wrong decisions, and they quite often end up poor. For example, Karl Marx and Joseph Schumpeter, 1883 to 1950. Joseph Schumpeter is an Austrian economist. He's very ambitious to become the greatest economist in the world. He was the head of an Austrian bank, which means he had an hands-on experience in investing into all sorts of different business schemes. But he's failed his own finance in 1924 when the economy turned bad. So it shows that economists aren't always very wealthy, because if they don't always make the right decision. Because if they did, then that means every economist would become millionaires. Dad told me never to easily trust an economist who seemed knowledgeable because on TV, because he or she might actually be silly and saying random stuff that they don't even know about, and make silly decisions for their own finances. And also he told me to never easily trust a successful businessman, for and he or she may be the lucky one who swims without underwear. So this example was made by a very famous businessman. So he said that if people are swimming and they swim really goodly, when the tide is really high, when the tide's high, they can see all their very good swimming skills. But when the tide is turns low, that means everyone can see that they don't have underwear. It's a famous example by a very successful businessman. Because no one is always able to make the right decisions, because businessmen or businesswomen or economists, they each can't. Making silly decisions in life is just inevitable. The most important thing to do is just face it and deal with the consequences. 2, learn a lesson. 3, and to refine your decisions next time. And number 2, entrepreneurs and innovation. Entrepreneurs put money and energy to build up big businesses. What used to be seen as robber barons who cheat and scheme to make money, but they didn't benefit society. But Schumpeter disagreed and said that entrepreneurs actually work hard, and they are energetic and determined and take risks, because they create new products using inventions. For example, Thomas Edison created the light bulb, and Henry Ford discovered a cheap way of making cars, and Samsung made installed a digital camera in the iPhone, and they all helped actually benefit society a lot in the long run. 3, innovation and monopoly. Traditionally, economists always think that monopolies are a bad thing for the economy, because it reduces competition, it reduces a chance for the buyers, and there's extra charge. Schumpeter actually disagreed with this, and he said that he believed that monopolies help the economy to advance, especially when it comes to innovation, because entrepreneurs are innovative, because entrepreneurs want to work hard to make money, so they try to think of new ideas and they make new things. So then they can supply new technology for the society. But they would be the only one creating them. But eventually, so it would be a new product. But soon, imitators would copy the ideas, making similar products. So then, so the innovations benefit the whole economy. But then slowly the old technology dies out, and then new technology raised. It's called creative destruction. When new tech is invented, they monopolize the market. They earn high money, for example, the iPhone. But eventually, lots of people start copying their way to do things. So then they change. So they make similar products. So the entrepreneurs have to figure out something else. So they want to always earn lots of money. So they want to figure out new technologies. For example, the iPhone. For dynamic economy, this is an economic module of a pond thought by Marshall and Jevons. So they thought it was a static, like a snapshot, like a photo. They thought that the demand and supply, they wanted to find the equilibrium. But Schumpeter's view of the economy is that he thought that it was ever changing, and he thought it was like more like a film. It's ever changing. For example, if stones are thrown into the pond, there's ripple like effect on the economy. It's same, and it's constantly moving. And entrepreneurs invent new things. He said. Further thoughts. Schumpeter worried because there was a dark side to capitalism, and there was no hope for it to survive. And he was once asked that, do you think that capitalism will survive? And he said, no, I do not think it can. He also disagreed with Keynes because when he said that governments could help look at the recessions, actually they can only look at one or two, because in the long run, the government are just helping them in the short run. In the long run, they didn't really help. So he thought that it was like pushing capitalism on a automatic machine on the government. They're relying on the government instead of themselves. So they said it was like relying on other people machine. But then the government eventually stopped and then kill capitalism off. That's all for today. Bye bye.